All right, people, Brandon Bicasso here in the cave, and I wanted to talk to you guys about when to ask for help when you're rebuilding motorcycles. Now, help can come in many different forms, be a tool, an expertise, physically lifting something. If you guys have seen, my wife has been helping me rebuild this bike. She's helped me lift the motor off of the table multiple times, probably like 5 times on and off, me dealing with this motor. But I had a specific situation that I was dealing with rebuilding this motorcycle. I've been rebuilding this bike for almost a year now, and I've been trying my best to finish it up very soon. But I ran into an issue with the swing arm. The swing arm is what attaches the rear tire to the rest of the bike. So this is my swing arm that I finally got back from the shop. So originally I took this swing arm to the dealership, or a dealership, to get them to take the bearings out of here. And it sat and sat and sat. And honestly, I went ahead and got it back because I didn't think they were gonna be able to get to it in time for me to finish this. And also, now that I know what had to happen for these to come out, I don't think they would have been able to get them out. So this frame, this beautiful astral purple frame that I had powder coated, I also had the swing arm powder coated. So if you don't know what the powder coating process is, this is when powder is sprayed onto a bare metal surface and then it is put into an oven at 400 degrees. Well, before you get anything powder coated, you're supposed to take all of the bearings out, because those bearings will get seized and cooked and rusted out. All the grease inside of them gets cooked out in the oven. And that is what happened in this particular situation. I was dumb, didn't know to get these out. Now I know, because I did the same thing for the wheels. They are a pain in the butt to get out after they've been cooked inside of this. So part of rebuilding bikes, you have to know when to ask for help, and also a pivotal skill set is to be resourceful. Knowing where to look for help, knowing how to find information you need to figure out, researching parts, and trying to figure out what you can do with or without, what parts can be repaired. I was dealing with the front tire on this bike, or the front wheel, and a new front wheel was $850, but to make it even more custom, I bought 2 used wheels from another bike, and I was able to fit these on and have them powder coated no problem. So that saved me money in that sense, but I spent more money in the sense that I had them powder coated and they look completely custom. But anyway, that's besides the point. Being resourceful. So I had to reach out to a machine shop to have this essentially fixed. So what they did, they took the swing arm and they, oh man, get these bearings. They essentially used some old school tricks to get these bearings out of here. And it involved welding a nut on the inside of the bearing, and then they were able to put a rod down through and tap it out. What's funny is that I was doing that exact same thing without the welding. I had a tool that would slot inside of the bearing, and I was trying to, and you basically put a rod in there, and it squeezes the inner piece out, so it holds onto the bearing as it's trying to pull it down. It just would not work. So they welded this on here and gave them a more solid piece, and they just old school hammered it out. But for the needle bearing that was on the opposite side, they ended up using a chisel and just broke it. They broke it out. So I asked him specifically how he did it, and I wanted to get this to show you guys that this is what it took to get these bearings out of the swing arm. I've been dealing with this for about a month, me trying on and off, waiting for tools to come in the mail, took it to the dealership, got the swing arm from the dealership, tried to fix it again myself and just gave up, and then just took it to the shop. So at some point you have to just concede and just go, look, this is not gonna work for me. Because at this particular point in time in my expertise or my ability to do what I'm doing here, I do not have the skill set to weld. I do not have the skill set to create tools in a traditional sense. I can use a tool that is not meant for a specific job to do something, but I don't have an individual, I don't have a skill set to create tools from bare metal, right? I also don't have like a lathe or CNC machine cutting things to fabricate. All I'm doing right now is just bolting on parts all the way down to their bare essentials, like taking this motor part. I didn't have the crankcase welded. I mean, I did not weld it. I had someone to weld it for me, but I was resourceful enough to, and knew that I needed help to do this and to find the right person to do it. So a lot of this, again, involves being resourceful, and I understand what my strengths are, and what my strengths are right now are putting this thing back together, finding the right people to do the job, and allowing me to move along when I get those specific parts back. So the message here is that when you're rebuilding bikes, you have to know just when to call for help. And luckily, I got the swing arm back, and that is truthfully the only thing that's stopping this bike from being completely rideable. Like once I get the swing arm back on, that'll be getting the rear tire on, brakes. I've already powered the bike on, and from there it'll be a matter of testing the motor to see if the motor's going to turn over correctly and nothing's going to grenade itself through the bottom of the block, or shoot out the side or something just absolutely bonkers because I didn't tighten something down, which I'm pretty sure I did. So yeah, that's the message.